How a shoe cabinet placement can impact your life. Find out what to avoid. You may have never thought about the importance of where you place your shoe cabinet. You might have simply put it somewhere in the house without realizing that those spots could be affecting your wealth, health, and family happiness. It sounds strange, right? But the truth is, many ancient Feng Shui principles suggest that placing items in your home incorrectly can greatly impact your finances, health, and overall living environment. So, in today's video, we're going to explore a super interesting yet highly important Feng Shui topic: the placement of your shoe cabinet in your home. We'll go over 5 forbidden spots where you absolutely should not place your shoe cabinet. And, especially the 5th spot, which many people might be unknowingly getting wrong, thinking it's just fine. But before we dive into the first forbidden spot, I'd love to hear from you. Where is your shoe cabinet currently placed? Drop a comment and let everyone know. And make sure to stick around until the end of the video to see if you've been making any of these Feng Shui mistakes. The first position that many of us might be making the mistake of is placing the shoe cabinet directly facing the front door. In Feng Shui, the main door is considered the gateway for the flow of qi, energy, the place where life enters the home. But, if your shoe cabinet is placed directly across from the main door, the incoming flow of energy is blocked right away. There's no space to breathe, only a feeling of congestion filling the air. Placing the shoe cabinet facing the main door might not be immediately noticeable, but when you walk into your house, you'll feel like you're running into a wall, unable to breathe. The main door is the energy gateway, welcoming new opportunities, luck, and prosperity. If a shoe cabinet is blocking it, everything gets reversed. Fresh energy can't enter, and instead, old, ugly energy from the shoes, along with dirt and grime from the outside, floods in, leaving the space feeling stale. People may not realize it, but one thing is, for sure, you can't escape that feeling. When you step into your home and immediately face a large object like a shoe cabinet, something just feels off. You walk into a house that's supposed to be relaxing, but instead, it feels like you're being trapped in your own space. The home should be a place to unwind, but here, it's just heavy and suffocating, right? Spiritually, the main door is seen as the gate for energy entering the house, a portal for good things to come. But if a large object like a shoe cabinet is right at the main door, that energy flow is blocked. Shoes, no matter how clean, still carry the dirt, the negative energy from wherever they've been. And when they're all trapped right at the entrance, positive energy cannot enter. Instead, the negative energy sticks around. Honestly, no one wants to live in an environment where the energy feels heavy like that. From an energy science perspective, the main door is the source of energy for the house. When you place the shoe cabinet right in front of it, the qi cannot enter freely, and instead bumps into the obstruction. This causes the energy in the house to disperse, unable to create harmony. It gradually creates a space that feels drained, tired, and hard to focus in. If you always feel tired and can't understand why, the shoe cabinet facing the main door could be causing this. The consequences of placing the shoe cabinet in this position go beyond just discomfort in the space. Over time, it can affect the family's finances. Money may come and go unpredictably, and it will be hard to accumulate. This feeling keeps repeating itself, pulling the family into a cycle of financial instability. Even if you work hard or save, you might still feel like something's always missing. It also impacts family dynamics. Unnecessary arguments might arise. People might feel disconnected, even though they're living under the same roof. Have you noticed it? If this space isn't improved, it'll make everyone feel uneasy, lacking connection. Now, let's improve the space starting with the main entrance. Surely, you don't want to feel trapped or suffocated as soon as you walk through the door, right? So, let's move that shoe cabinet away from facing the main door. Move the shoe cabinet to the side. The simplest solution is to place the shoe cabinet to the left or right of the main door, preferably to the right. If you're looking from inside the house, this makes the space feel open, unobstructed, and allows energy to flow naturally and smoothly into the house. Place the shoe cabinet in a less prominent position. You can place the shoe cabinet in a hallway corner near the main door, but not directly facing it. This helps energy flow steadily throughout the house without being blocked. Use a closed shoe cabinet. If moving the shoe cabinet is not an option, make sure it has a closed door. This will help keep the energy clean and prevent it from disrupting the flow of energy into your home. Moving the shoe cabinet from directly facing the main door not only clears up the space, but also creates a wave of positive energy, bringing prosperity and peace to your family. If your shoe cabinet is currently facing the main door and you're feeling what I described, don't forget to like this video. The second mistake, shoe cabinet in the bedroom. The bedroom. What do you think of when you hear that? It's the place where you rest, where your body and mind rejuvenate after a long day. It's meant to be a peaceful space, a place with no disturbances. But, if you place a shoe cabinet in the bedroom, you might be unknowingly harming this space. The bedroom is not meant to store negative energy. Did you know? When a shoe cabinet is placed in the bedroom, it brings the energy from the outside world into this supposed sanctuary. You might not notice it right away, but all the dirt and the chaotic energy from the outside world get carried into your peaceful space. You might feel tired but have no idea why. Or perhaps you wake up feeling unrest, despite sleeping enough hours. The truth is, a shoe cabinet in the bedroom disrupts your sleep. Shoes, no matter how clean they are, still carry energy from the outside. And you're sleeping in that environment, surrounded by vibrations that aren't so harmonious. Over time, you might experience insomnia or disturbing dreams. And when you wake up, you feel stressed and unable to relax. Spiritually, the bedroom is a space where the energy should be pure and peaceful. It's where your spirit needs rest and renewal. But when a shoe cabinet is introduced, it brings with it the energy from the outside, which contaminates the fresh atmosphere you need. This feeling gradually overtakes the bedroom, making you feel disconnected from your inner peace. From an energy science standpoint, the bedroom is where the energy needs to renew and restore itself. When a shoe cabinet is in the room, it disrupts the natural flow of energy because it carries too much external influence. Your body and mind cannot rejuvenate properly due to these outside influences, which is why you feel exhausted, even after a full night's rest. The consequences of placing a shoe cabinet in the bedroom go beyond disturbing your sleep. Over time, it can lead to long-term health issues. Problems such as stomach pain and difficulty breathing may start to arise. And you'll realize that it's the energy disruption in this space causing you to feel unwell. Additionally, relationships in the bedroom can suffer. Couples who share a bedroom with a shoe cabinet often feel distant, frustrated, and the emotional bond they once shared begins to fade. The bedroom is where you recharge and rest, a place for your spirit to heal after a long day. But placing a shoe cabinet there? Forget about it. If you don't want your sleep to turn into a nightmare, here are some tips for you. Move the shoe cabinet out of the bedroom. First and foremost, relocate the shoe cabinet. If possible, place it in a hallway corner or near the front door, where it won't disturb your resting space. Use a closed shoe cabinet. If you must keep the shoe cabinet in the bedroom, opt for a closed cabinet. A closed shoe cabinet helps control the energy from the shoes, keeping your bedroom space fresh and clean. Add plants. If you can't move the shoe cabinet, consider placing a small plant in the bedroom to purify the air and remove negative energy. Certain plants like aloe vera or peace lilies are great air purifiers and can help you feel more relaxed. Why? It's simple. The bedroom is for resting, not for storing dusty shoes that bring negative energy inside. When your bedroom is kept clean and peaceful, your sleep improves. And you'll feel more relaxed and refreshed when you wake up. The next mistake, shoe cabinet in the center of the home. Now, we're moving to a position that many of you might not even consider, the center of the home. I bet many of you will need to think twice about this one. The center of the house is such an important area in Feng Shui, almost like the heart of your home. Placing a shoe cabinet here? Honestly, it's like building a house and forgetting the foundation. The entire house will feel misaligned, and the flow of energy, or qi, will be completely disrupted. In practical terms, placing a shoe cabinet in the center of the home just doesn't feel right. Imagine this: you walk into your house, expecting to feel harmonious and peaceful, maybe even a little relaxed. But instead of an open space, you are greeted by a bulky shoe cabinet right in the middle, blocking the flow and creating a feeling of chaos. The center of your house should be a place where energy flows evenly and harmoniously, making you feel relaxed and comfortable. But when a shoe cabinet is placed there, you've effectively blocked the flow. And as a result, the air in the house feels tired and closed off. Everyone wants the center of their home to feel comfortable. But a shoe cabinet, maybe because of its size, just makes everything feel cramped. It blocks energy from moving freely, trapping it. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like something was off? Like the space didn't allow you to breathe properly? That's what happens when energy gets stuck. Spiritually, the center of the home is considered the core of the energy. It's where everything needs to gather and unite. Just like the heart, where energy is meant to flow out to the rest of the house. But when you place a shoe cabinet here, you might not even realize it, but you're cutting off the harmony of the space. Your home gets split, and it's no longer a cohesive whole. Feng Shui talks a lot about balancing the yin and yang. And placing something like a shoe cabinet in the center disrupts that balance, throwing everything off from your mind to your body. From an energy science perspective, the center of the house is the control center of the entire space. It's where energy needs to connect to all other parts of the house. Think of it like the central nervous system of the body. You might not see it, but it controls everything. When you place an object like a shoe cabinet, filled with stagnant energy, in the middle, everything gets disrupted. The energy can't move freely, and the surrounding spaces become weak, scattered, and chaotic. As a result, energy cannot circulate properly, and you'll feel tired and unable to make decisions. The sense of mental fog and lack of focus you're experiencing? That's the blocked energy at play. So, what happens if you leave the shoe cabinet in the center? It's not just about feeling discomfort for a few hours. Over time, you will find yourself trapped in a cycle of mental fatigue, financial instability, and emotional tension. Money may come and go unpredictably, making you feel insecure. That sense of unease will only grow. On a personal level, you might feel disconnected from your family. Small, unexplained arguments may pop up, and it will seem like there's no real connection between you and your loved ones. It's like your home, meant to be a sanctuary, is now full of tension. The center of the home is the heart of your living space, and if you place a shoe cabinet there, you'll literally block the heart. Move the shoe cabinet out of the center. The easiest and most important solution is to relocate the shoe cabinet. If possible, place it in a corner or along the walls where it won't interfere with the flow of energy. Use alternative storage. Instead of a bulky shoe cabinet, you can opt for smaller, more compact storage solutions like wall-mounted shoe racks or open shelving units that take up less space. The reason for this is simple: the center of the home must remain open and allow energy to flow freely. Leaving a shoe cabinet there will cause energy imbalance, leading to fatigue, bad luck, and unease in the household. The next mistake: shoe cabinet near the kitchen. Now, let's talk about the kitchen, the true heart of the home. It's the place where the family gathers, where meals are prepared, and where energy of nourishment flows. But placing a shoe cabinet near the kitchen? Oh, I have to be honest here, a disaster is waiting to happen. Let's think about this for a moment. The kitchen, in Feng Shui, is associated with fire energy. It represents passion, health, and prosperity. And shoes? They're dirty, right? Shoes carry earth and water energy, dirt, moisture, and grime from the outside. When you place a shoe cabinet near the kitchen, you create a conflict between two elements in Feng Shui, fire and water. Fire and water fighting each other doesn't sound like a good combination, does it? It's not a small issue either. Placing a shoe cabinet near the kitchen can affect the taste of meals, your appetite, and even cause digestive issues. Have you ever noticed that when a shoe cabinet is too close to the kitchen, food spoils faster, cooking becomes chaotic, and meals just don't feel as warm as they used to? Who wants to eat when the energy in the kitchen feels imbalanced? From a spiritual standpoint, the kitchen is where the family's health is nourished. In Feng Shui, this is where the life force energy is nurtured. But when you place a shoe cabinet near it, you're bringing negative energy into a space that should be clean and vibrant. This creates a disruption in the energy, making meals lose their harmony. The fire energy of the kitchen will be suppressed, and you'll notice the family becoming more distant, more prone to arguments, and feeling disconnected during those times spent together. From an energy science perspective, the kitchen acts as the heat source of the home, helping regulate the elements in the space. When shoes are placed nearby, they bring earth and water elements into the mix. And, as we know, water and fire never mix well. When these two elements clash, it disturbs the energy flow in the kitchen. This not only affects the taste of food, but also spreads throughout, disturbing the overall family energy, affecting health, and even making you feel unfulfilled after meals. So, what are the consequences? It's not just about a bad meal or stomach issues. Placing a shoe cabinet near the kitchen can lead to family tension and lack of harmony during meals. Arguments may start for no apparent reason, and the meal times, which should be about bonding, become filled with discomfort. You'll feel uneasy, without knowing exactly why, but it's all connected to the disruption of kitchen energy. Moreover, health issues will keep occurring, from stomach pain to feeling heavy after meals, indicating that the energy in the home is off, and it all traces back to the shoe cabinet being near the kitchen. The kitchen is where the family's energy should be nurtured, where everything should be warm, clean, and stable. You don't want dirty shoes near this area, right? Move the shoe cabinet away from the kitchen. Move the shoe cabinet as far away from the kitchen as possible. The kitchen and the shoe cabinet belong to two completely opposite elements, fire and earth. And when they combine, they create an energy conflict. Create a separate area for shoes. Try to create a separate storage area for shoes within the home, not in the kitchen area. Use smaller, compact shoe cabinets that don't take up much space, and help keep the kitchen clean. You don't want a place meant for nourishment to be affected by negative energy, right? Moving the shoe cabinet away from the kitchen keeps your home clean, fresh, and full of good luck. Ah, here we are, the big one. Facing the deity or ancestral altar. You'd be surprised how many people make this mistake, placing a shoe cabinet right in front of their sacred space. I mean, how could we not? The altar is a place for reverence, tradition, and honoring those who came before us. But when we place a shoe cabinet right in front of it, it's like inviting chaos into the very heart of your home's spiritual realm. Let's take a step back and look at the practical side of this. Your deity or ancestral altar is typically where you give your respects, offering gratitude, and connecting with your ancestors. It's sacred, right? And then, here comes this big, bulky shoe cabinet, sitting right in front, blocking the space. So now, what happens when you open that door? And instead of peace and reverence, You face a pile of shoes. It's uncomfortable. It feels wrong. You walk into your home, expecting to feel grounded, maybe even protected by the presence of your ancestors, but no. Instead, you're confronted by something as mundane as a shoe cabinet. It's like putting a wall between you and your spiritual connection. This practical misplacement pollutes the space. The energy that should be pure and calming is interrupted by this clutter. It makes the altar space lose its sanctity, and creates a feeling of discomfort. Instead of having a place of reflection and peace, it now feels like an afterthought, something thrown in the corner of your life without care. And that's bad energy right there. Now, from a spiritual perspective, this is where things get serious. Feng Shui teaches that the altar is the connection between the physical and the spiritual. A sacred space where you commune with ancestors and higher energies. It's a space that deserves respect, reverence, and clarity. But placing a shoe cabinet right in front of it? Well, that's a huge disrespect. It's like saying, "You don't matter, go ahead and push you to the side." Shoes are considered dirty in Feng Shui literally. They carry with them all the energy of the outside world, the streets, the dirt, the chaos. And putting that in front of your sacred space? It's a clear spiritual block. It's like you're burying your connection with the divine, and your ancestors behind filth. This doesn't just feel wrong, it's energetically disruptive. The sacred energy of the altar can't properly interact with the energy around it when a heavy object like a shoe cabinet is in the way. Instead of a peaceful, reverent atmosphere, the energy becomes turbulent, blocking blessings, and making everything feel unsettled. It's not just disrespectful, it's like actively blocking the flow of good fortune and guidance. From an energy science perspective, it's like throwing off the balance of your home's energy. Think about it like a dam in a river. The water, energy, is supposed to flow freely. But when you place an object like a shoe cabinet right in front of a sacred space, the energy gets dammed up. It can't circulate properly anymore. The chi that's supposed to flow freely from the altar to the rest of the house is suddenly trapped. And when energy gets trapped, it starts to become stagnant. It doesn't move. And when it's stagnant, well, nothing positive can come from it. This means that things like health, wealth, and even relationships start to feel stuck. You might notice yourself feeling physically tired, mentally foggy, or like your efforts just aren't bearing fruit. Why? Because the energy around you isn't flowing properly. So, what does all this lead to in the long run? Well, if your shoe cabinet keeps facing your altar, things are going to get rough. For starters, the energy around that sacred space will become polluted. The flow of good fortune, which should naturally come from your ancestors and the divine, gets blocked. So, what happens next? You might notice some unexpected financial challenges. You work hard, but it feels like the money slips away without any reason. It's like being stuck in a loop where prosperity never seems to stick around. This isn't just about money, though. The emotional impact on the family can be severe too. The house, which should be filled with a peaceful, spiritual energy, becomes disconnected. Arguments might start happening, for no reason, family members may feel more distant. And there's this underlying feeling of tension. It's like something small, like a shoe cabinet, is actively working to tear apart the harmony and peace that should exist in your home. And you may not even realize why. It's just this constant sense of unrest. Now, let's fix this. We know what not to do, but what's the right way? You want to keep that connection with the divine and your ancestors intact, right? Don't place the shoe cabinet in front of your altar. This is non-negotiable. Move it to another spot, far enough away from the altar so that nothing blocks that sacred space. Ideally, the altar should have room to breathe, without clutter nearby. A clean, Clear space is what allows the energy of the altar to flow freely into the rest of the home. If space is limited, try to place the shoe cabinet along a side wall or behind a partition so that it's out of sight. The key here is respect. You want the energy of your sacred space to be uninterrupted. By doing this, you allow the energy of the altar to flow naturally into the house without being contaminated. So, we've covered the 5 places where you should never place your shoe cabinet in your home. As you can see, sometimes small changes in your living space can have a huge impact on your wealth, health, and family happiness. Feng Shui isn't something far-fetched or complicated. In fact, it's based on simple principles that help us create a harmonious space filled with positive energy. If you've identified the wrong spots for your shoe cabinet and made the right adjustments, you'll immediately feel the difference when you step into your home. An open, fresh space that respects the spiritual elements is the key to living a happy and peaceful life. And remember, if you found this information helpful, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on future Feng Shui tips and interesting life hacks. Thank you for watching. And I hope you'll rearrange your space in the right way so you can experience positive changes starting today. See you in the next video.